Welcome back, watch enthusiasts. Today we are talking about one of the most storied dive watch lineages in the entire history of horology, Omega. While Rolex rightly commands attention as the benchmark for dive watches, Omega has spent over 70 years building a diving collection of extraordinary depth, technical ambition, and cultural resonance that rivals any other manufacturer on the planet. This is the brand that equipped the Royal Navy's diving teams, the brand that went to the moon twice and came back, the brand that outfitted the most famous secret agent in cinema history, and the brand whose Seamaster collection has produced some of the most technically revolutionary and visually iconic dive watches ever strapped to a human wrist. Today we are counting down the top 10 legendary Omega dive watches, from the models that define the category to the pinnacle of what Swiss dive watch engineering looks like in 2026. Let's get into it. Number 10. Omega Seamaster. Diver 300 MEP Co-Axial Master Chronometer, reference 210-30-42-20.C1 on C01. Every Omega dive watch list begins here, at the foundation of the modern Seamaster collection. The Seamaster Diver 300 MER is the watch that relaunched Omega's entire cultural identity when Pierce Brosnan wore it as James Bond in GoldenEye in 1995, and in the 3 decades since that moment, it has evolved into one of the finest production dive watches in the world. The current generation 42mm stainless steel case features Omega's signature wave pattern dial, a design detail borrowed from the surface of the ocean that has become as immediately recognizable as any watch element produced by any brand. The blue ceramic unidirectional bezel with its white enameled diving scale is virtually scratch-proof and color-fast for life. The helium escape valve at 10 o'clock allows saturation divers to safely decompress after extended dives at extreme depths. Water resistance to 300 meters exceeds the needs of all but the most extreme professional diving applications. At the heart of the watch beats Omega's caliber 8800 Co-Axial Master Chronometer movement, certified by the Swiss Federal Institute of Metrology to the most rigorous accuracy, magnetic resistance, and performance standards applied to any production watch movement, resistant to magnetic fields of 15,000 Gauss, accurate to 0 to plus 5 seconds per day after certification. The Omega Aqua Terra bracelet with its diver's extension clasp completes the package. At approximately $5,900, the Seamaster Diver 300 Medin is the watch that established the standard for what a modern Swiss dive watch should be, and in 2026 it continues to hold that standard effortlessly. Number 9. Omega Seamaster Diver 300 Maya Spectre. Limited edition, reference 233.30-42-21 Some watches earn their legendary status through pure technical achievement. Others earn it through cultural collision, the moment a timepiece connects with a story larger than itself and becomes inseparable from it. The Omega Seamaster Spectre edition is one of those watches. Released in a limited edition to coincide with the 2015 James Bond film, the Spectre edition features the same 42mm steel case and wave pattern architecture as the standard Diver 300 Me, but dressed in a configuration unique to this edition: a gray ceramic bezel, a dark gray dial, and a grade 5 titanium mesh bracelet with a folding buckle that has become one of the most imitated bracelet designs in the industry. The titanium mesh, lighter, more flexible, and more comfortable than any steel bracelet, drapes on the wrist with a suppleness that has to be experienced to be fully appreciated. The caliber 2507 automatic movement inside delivers Omega coaxial precision with column wheel chronometer performance. Collectible, cinematic, and technically impeccable, at approximately $9,500 on the secondary market in 2026, the Spectre edition commands the premium that genuine cultural artifacts always do. Number 8. Omega Seamaster 300, reference 234.30-4121.03.1. While the Diver 300M gets the spotlight, serious collectors know that the Seamaster 300 is where Omega's diving heritage runs deepest. The original Seamaster 300 was introduced in 1957, the same landmark year that saw Rolex launch the Submariner and Blancpain introduce the 50 Fathoms as part of Omega's trilogy of professional tool watches. The modern 41mm interpretation honors that 1957 design with extraordinary fidelity. The signature lollipop seconds hand, a direct reference to the original, is the dial detail that separates the knowledgeable Omega buyer from everyone else. The broad arrow hour hand, drawn from military specification watches, adds a second layer of vintage authenticity. The black ceramic unidirectional bezel with its dive scale is fitted with a superluminova-filled domed insert that glows with exceptional intensity in low light. The caliber 8400 Master Co-Axial movement delivers Master Chronometer certification, 15,000 Gauss magnetic resistance, and a 60-hour power reserve. On the NATO strap with its vintage correct metal loops, the Seamaster 300 wears like a piece of living watch history. At approximately $5,600, this is the Omega that the most historically literate buyers consistently choose, the one that connects directly to 1957, to the Trilogy, and to the original golden age of the professional tool watch. Number 7. Omega Seamaster. Aqua Terra 150M GMT World Timer, reference 220. 12.43.2.03.DC1. Not every dive watch needs to conquer the abyss. Some are built for the traveler who wants the water credentials of a professional diver, paired with the sophistication of a GMT complication that genuinely changes how you experience international travel. The Seamaster Aqua Terra GMT World Timer is that watch. The 43mm stainless steel case features the Aqua Terra collection's distinctive teak pattern dial, inspired by the wooden decking of ocean racing yachts, in a rich green sunburst that shifts dramatically between light sources. The World Timer complication displays all 24 global time zones simultaneously on a dedicated disc rotating within the inner bezel, a genuine travel complication that pilots, executives, and frequent international travelers reach for before every departure. The GMT function allows independent adjustment of the local time without disturbing the reference time or the World Timer display, a level of travel functionality rare at this price point. Water resistance to 150 meters keeps it thoroughly capable in marine environments. The caliber 8939 Co-Axial Master Chronometer movement inside is among the most refined and accurate production movements in existence. At approximately $8,750, the Aqua Terra GMT World Timer is the Omega dive watch for the global traveler who wants the sea and the sky in the same case. Number 6. Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean. 600 MAU, reference 215.30.44.21.01.sinuol. When Omega needed a dive watch that could go deeper, be more technically capable, and deliver a more dramatic visual statement than the Diver 300 MUM, the answer was the Planet Ocean. The 43.5mm stainless steel case is a more substantial, more aggressive proposition, designed not for the cocktail party but for the ocean floor. Water resistance to 600 meters is far beyond recreational requirements and firmly in professional territory. The ceramic unidirectional bezel with its liquid metal diving scale, a unique aluminum-silicon alloy injected into the ceramic groove to create numerals of extraordinary durability and precision, is one of the finest bezel executions in the industry. The black ceramic dial with applied markers and the orange diving scale accents creates a visual impact that announces the Planet Ocean's intentions before you read a single specification. The caliber 8900 Co-Axial Master Chronometer movement delivers Master Chronometer certification and a 60-hour power reserve within a movement engineered to operate under the pressure conditions that 600 meters of water creates. The integrated rubber strap system uses a design that accommodates a wetsuit sleeve without a separate diver's extension. At approximately $6,500, the Planet Ocean 600 Mellers is the Omega for the buyer who wants a watch that looks as serious as it is, and in 2026, that is a growing number of people. Number 5, Omega Seamaster Ultra Deep, reference 215.92.49.21.99.1. This is where Omega leaves the recreational diving world entirely and enters the domain of science and extreme engineering. The Seamaster Ultra Deep was developed in direct collaboration with the 5 Deeps expedition, the first crewed mission to reach the deepest point of every ocean on Earth, and it carries water resistance to an almost unimaginable 6,000 meters. To put that in perspective, the deepest ocean trench on the planet, the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench, reaches 10,935 meters. The Ultra Deep descended to 10,928 meters attached to the submersible DSV limiting factor during that expedition, surviving pressures equivalent to 2,600 times the atmospheric pressure at the surface. The 45.5 mm Grade 2 titanium case is a masterwork of pressure engineering. The Grade 5 titanium crown system is sealed to a standard no other production watch has achieved. The anti-reflective sapphire crystal on the dial side is paired with a sapphire caseback, allowing full visibility of the caliber 8912 master chronometer movement. The black ceramic bezel and black dial create an appearance as deep and impenetrable as the ocean floors this watch was designed to explore. At approximately $2,500, the Ultra Deep is the Omega for the buyer who wants a watch that has genuinely been to the bottom of the world and came back to tell the story. Number 4, Omega Seamaster Diver. 300 May 007 edition, reference 210, Neuron, Toy 2, 42, 2001.04. Every generation produces one, the James Bond Omega that transcends the usual limitations of a licensed product and becomes something genuinely special in its own right. For this generation, that watch is the Seamaster Diver 300 May 07 edition, released to coincide with No Time to Die and the conclusion of Daniel Craig's Bond era. The 42mm stainless steel case features a military specification matte khaki green dial, the same shade used in British Special Boat Service equipment, with a distressed military look applied to the dial texture and numerals that is unlike anything else in Omega's catalog. The khaki green ceramic bezel insert, and the brushed NATO-style fabric strap with its Velcro cinch, a direct reference to the kind of watch strap used by maritime special forces operators, give this watch a purposeful, operational aesthetic that makes every other Omega look decidedly civilian by comparison. The caliber 8806 Co-Axial master chronometer movement delivers 15,000 Gauss magnetic resistance and master chronometer accuracy without a date complication, keeping the dial clean and the design pure. At approximately $7,200, the 007 edition is the Omega that connects 50 years of Bond watch history to the present day, and in 2026 it is one of the most coveted Seamasters in the secondary market. The story ends, the watch endures. Number 3, Omega Seamaster Ploprof 1200 Mo, reference 227.90, 55.9, $21.999.01. There is nothing subtle about the Omega Seamaster Ploprof. There has never been anything subtle about it. The original Ploprof, whose name derives from the French plongeur professionnel, meaning professional diver, was introduced in 1970 and immediately became the most extreme production dive watch ever created. The modern revival carries every gram of that original ambition. The 55mm by 48mm titanium case is enormous, asymmetrical, and uncompromisingly industrial in its aesthetic. A watch that does not pretend to be anything other than a precision diving instrument designed for professional saturation diving at depths that would kill an unprotected human being. Water resistance to 2,200 meters. The orange pusher at 8 o'clock operates the unidirectional rotating bezel and doubles as a security lock, preventing accidental rotation during a dive. The orange and titanium color scheme is a direct homage to the original 1970 design. The caliber 8912 Co-Axial master chronometer movement delivers master chronometer certification in a case engineered to withstand pressures at 1 to 200 meters depth. The bracelet with its diver's extension clasp accommodates diving equipment of any thickness. At approximately $12,000, the Ploprof is the Omega that most buyers admire from a distance, and very few have the confidence to actually wear. Those who do wear it, divers, engineers, and collectors who appreciate the specific beauty of extreme function, wear it with a pride that no conventional luxury watch can inspire. In 2026, the Ploprof remains what it has always been, the most uncompromising dive watch in production. Number 2, Omega Seamaster Diver. 300 Me Co-Axial Master. Chronometer in titanium, reference 210, 90, 42.20.01.0. Take the watch that defined the modern dive watch category. Remove every gram of unnecessary weight. Apply Omega's most advanced surface finishing to a material that is simultaneously stronger and dramatically lighter than stainless steel. What you are left with is the Seamaster Diver 300M in titanium and in 2026 it is one of the finest dive watches ever produced. The 42mm Grade 2 titanium case shares every dimension and proportion with the Steel Diver 300 mount but wears approximately 30% lighter on the wrist, a difference that transforms the experience of wearing it for an entire day and makes it genuinely unobtrusive in a way that steel dive watches rarely achieve. The blue ceramic bezel, blue wave pattern ceramic dial, and Grade 2 titanium bracelet create a complete aesthetic that is both distinctively Omega and subtly different from the familiar steel version, lighter in tone, warmer in material character, and more refined in overall impression. The caliber 8800 Co-Axial Master Chronometer movement delivers the same 15,000 Gauss magnetic resistance, 0 to plus 5 seconds daily accuracy, and 55-hour power reserve as the steel version, here framed in a case that represents one of the most technically advanced production watch cases in the industry. At approximately $7,900, the titanium Seamaster Diver 300 is the choice for the buyer who has tried both and understands, without needing it explained, why titanium changes everything about what daily wear means for a serious dive watch. Number 1. Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean. Ultra Deep Reference 21592.46, 2199.01. There are extraordinary watches, and then there are watches that represent the absolute limit of what human engineering can achieve in the pursuit of underwater precision. The Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean. Ultra Deep is the latter, the single most technically accomplished dive watch that Omega has ever offered to the public, and in 2026, the most compelling argument that the Swiss watch industry has produced for why the pursuit of the extreme matters. The 45.5mm Grade 2 titanium case combines the Planet Ocean's design heritage with the Ultra Deep's engineering DNA. The case architecture that descended to the bottom of the Mariana Trench is now available in a wearable form that combines that achievement with Planet Ocean legibility and aesthetics. Water resistance to 6,000 meters. The ceramic unidirectional bezel with liquid metal insert scale. The black ceramic dial with Omega's highest grade luminous application ensuring readable luminescence at depths where ambient light ceases to exist entirely. The caliber 8912 Co-Axial Master Chronometer movement, certified to master chronometer standards and engineered to operate under the pressure extremes that professional saturation diving creates. The Grade 5 titanium bracelet with its diver's extension system accommodates any diving equipment configuration. At approximately $14,500, the Planet Ocean Ultra Deep is the Omega that sits at the summit of 7 decades of Seamaster engineering evolution. It carries within it the heritage of every professional dive watch Omega has produced since 1957, the technology refined through hundreds of thousands of hours of movement development, and the proven record of an expedition that explored the deepest places on Earth. In 2026, there is no finer dive watch that Omega makes. There are very few finer dive watches that anyone makes.